All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Margin, Golf, Closer, everyone, Chef, all the familiar faces. Ghost, Checo Perez. We got an F1 driver in the chat. Morning, everyone. How we doing? Trade what's in real time. That's right. Yeah, that's my own quote today. That's we'll touch on that in a second as we get more to jump in. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Thursday. Happy almost Friday. We're on the up and up. We're looking better. We've had a nice last few days. Some nice trading action. Some regrets still. What a absolutely insane market. What a run on the semis, on the Bitcoin names. And this is, I guess we can jump into it now. This is what I mean by trade what's in real time. And so lately, right, you really only want to trade a few things. You want to trade the semis, you want to trade the crypto names. That's really it. Everything else, maybe nuclear energy, a few other small cap tech names have been hot, but really it's like, Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, even, Tesla's warming up a little bit, but our traditional large cap tech, it's not there. It's not there. And if you just paid attention to what's like in real time, meaning what's really going and what's driving the market, it's always going to be the best, right? So right now, I think there's an opportunity every day on AMD, NVIDIA, Broadcom, TSM possibly now in play because of earnings, right? Every day there's a setup on semis. Every day there's a pullback long on semis. Every day there seems to be a trade on possibly Coinbase, MSTR, Circle. I mean, unbelievable Circle yesterday. That one, that one hurt a tad. You guys know we've been all over Circle. We made good money from Circle, so I can't be too upset, right? We did a really good job on Circle, but I didn't catch the big move. I saw some of you guys, Chef, congrats, you're in Circle. If anyone else is in Circle, congratulations. I mean, what a day yesterday on CRCL. Man, definitely still some opportunity there, though. So don't feel like, it's gone. This is a great thing about the market. There's always some more opportunity out there. So there's another trade today on Circle for sure. 225 retest is looking interesting. Retest to 210 is very interesting. Over 240 is very interesting. So I'm sure there's going to be more opportunities, and we will make sure to be paying attention to that today. So let's make it a good day. Let's start by pressing the like button. That's always a good way to start your day. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel for more videos. Made 25K yesterday. Damn. There you go, margin. Let's go, man. AMD, the swing trade that we took last week is now up like 500%. Of course, I sold that for like a nice, comfortable gain. But, that's like the mental battle as of late is everything just keeps going, and it sort of defies the laws of physics at times. It makes you want to, you want to still take your profits like you have been, but, it seems like right now some of the plays have been to at least run something on the hot sector. So trying to work my way into that. I've had some problems doing it, just sort of trusting things completely. But that's why we show up every day, man. We show up every day. We continue to grind, continue to show up, continue to trade, continue to find opportunities, continue to work through problems, continue to, improve every day. And that's why we're here at the end of the day. So let's keep going. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's jump in. I'm back in the circle here. Circle for, I should have known. I mean, oh my God. Think about that. Think about the sign that we provided yesterday. Yesterday on the live stream, we got me back in the circle camera right here. I'm back inside the circle. And what's the stock that goes straight up yesterday? Circle. What a sign that was. My God. If that was ever a sign, then I don't... Damn. Just thought about that. Well, maybe it's circle day 2. All right. So, yesterday, wild day. Wild day. You know, can't really what am I trying to say? I can't really complain about being you know, risk off after that big drop intraday yesterday, right? So I sort of took all risk off into that and just said, hey, I'm taking my win and I'm getting out of here because I was a little concerned that this was going to, you know, get, you know, more action. But man, you failed under 22.9. You had a little alfalfa. This was in the same zone. If you guys remember us talking about this zone on the ES, we were talking about the zone under 60 into 25 being a very, you know, sort of dangerous area. If you guys remember, we called this like the Bermuda Triangle. A very interesting area between 25 and 60. We saw that wiki action here on Monday, right? And look at yesterday again, another monster wick demand hold. It did break under 60, but you just sort of just not finding that continuation to the downside. You broke under 900. So there was some concern to me to be, you know, what I thought at that point was, all right, this is it. This is the fail. This is the move back down to the daily 20 that we were talking about. You know, I was like, okay, good. We broke 60. Let's get back to 25. Let's get back to the daily 20. Let's find the really nice long off the daily 20. But man, did that not work? I mean, you barely got even down to the daily 20. You got down to 62.40, and you just instantly ripped this thing. So interesting day. I mean, what I hate about it, it was fueled off of like pretty much fake. I guess you could almost say it was fake news, to be quite honest. Jerome Powell, you know, one side saying Jerome Powell is going to get fired, then they're backing off the news saying that's not true, right? So you're just sort of you're basically just getting thrown around here yesterday on the overall market. But after you reclaimed, and this is what I want to talk about, the reclaim was the sickest move of the day. Once we get into the ES, I'll show you the reclaim. That was the sickest move of the day. The reclaim back above the demand, back above 62.60, back above 22.9 was intense. And that's where the long really set up. But for today, let's just focus on today. Yesterday is in the past. Yesterday, overall, beautiful hold of 22.9. Little bit of drama, little bit of dance, but overall, a beautiful hold of 22.9. You come back up, you hold 23,000, right? So we have 22.9, we have 23,000 again. Again, stair-stepping to the upside, trying to create higher lows, right? Here, and now today, I think it's anywhere between this 23,080 and 23,100 area. That's where I really think you need to hold. It could be slightly lower. I can't get a perfect read on the exact level here. I mean, to be quite honest, it's anywhere between here, to be honest, guys. I mean, as long as you're over 23K, you're chilling, to be frank, right? As long as you're over these highs, right? As long as you're over these lows, as long as you're over that 23K, I think you're pretty fine. So even if you do get a little bit of downside, I still think that's a pullback long, right? Even at that 23K. So I think you're chilling on this for now. To be like the most bullish today, I think you look for that hold over 23.8, 23.1. If you get that today on this little flag action, then you're going up to the 23.200 today, right? If you can get a really solid hold over the previous day highs, which is right around this 23.8, 23.100 area, right? If you look at this, yesterday morning failures, 23.100 failures. If you can turn this area right here into support and see that, you know, you're starting to see that right now as we speak, right? Look at what's going on right now. If you can continue to stick that hold right there, then I think you're flagging and breaking, all right, for the next move. That's what I would be looking for today. If you fail back under yesterday's highs here, if we go to the 5-minute chart, right, looking at this 5-minute, yesterday's highs in the morning were like right around this 23.8 area, and you can see that that's sort of where we're holding. You could maybe bring that down to like 70 if you if you want, down to 70s. I mean, it's so not perfect. There's just a zone here. I wouldn't mind bringing it down to 70 just so you don't short into those pre-market lows right there, right? I wouldn't want to short into those pre-market lows. So if you bring this down to 70 here, right, you can see that hold. You can see some of these previous highs in this area. If you break back under this, then I think you get that beautiful pullback, which is the pullback that you want, right? It's 23,000, 23,015. You get that. This could be a really sexy move here back to the upside. I would definitely be watching that zone. And even if you fail 23K, right, you got some big boys down here holding this thing up at 22.9. So definitely keep looking for the pullbacks. It has been the right move every single time. You get these, drops to key levels, and waiting for those drops to get your longs has been so perfect. 23,000, 22,009, watch that. The same levels we've had all week. But right now, today, if we want to get like a real move going here, if we want to stop, trading in this channel and we want to say, hey, this is it, let's get a breakout, let's get a real move on this market, I think you want to see this hold today, all right? Right in here. You'd like to see this area hold today. If you can get that, then I'm liking that upside. That's what I would be looking for, right? These highs, right here, 23,070, 23,100. Get a hold above that, you're going to 23.2. Obviously, we'll see what retail sales does, but so far, it's looking pretty decent for a hold above these previous highs, right? You can see that's this high, this high, this high, and if you can see that hold today, that's very, very good. So let's see if that can set up. If not, you're coming back down to some previous pullback levels, 23,000, 22.9, right? And you still have the major, and I mean major, 22.9 and major 22.8. That's still down there. All right, you can see there has been no ability to even think about breaking that level. That has been just a rock, stronger than rock, Kevlar low right there on the NASDAQ. So we'll see, right? If we fail back under these highs today, if we start to live under these highs, well, guess what? You're right back in the channel, man. And you're looking for pullback longs off key levels again. S&P 500. So something to really pay attention to here, guys. Like, it looks strong out there, but it's funny because the ES has still not broken 63.15. So we have to stay open. We have to stay open to the possibility. We can't get too blindsided quite yet. We can't get too, foaming at the mouth, bullish, rabies, oh my God, we're going straight up, which we are on certain names. But on the overall market, this is still somewhat sketchy. 63.15, 63.15, 63.15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15. Right? Every single time, 63.15. And you can see here again today, you're not breaking it yet. So the door's still open, okay? Make sure you remember that. The door is not locked closed to the bears. The bears are keeping the door open. It's absolutely still there. Nothing on the S&P 500 is saying that you are in, for sure on an upside move in the short term. It's absolutely still channeling. So be aware of that. Once again, yesterday, the hold over 60 is incredible. It definitely makes you want to think that this is just going to consolidate for upside, which is likely the outcome. That is absolutely likely the outcome. I think it'd be foolish to think that this isn't the eventual outcome. But you can't say with certainty that there's not, still the possibility of this 63.15 failing and maybe some deeper pullbacks coming in to maybe flush out some complacent longs, basically, right? There's maybe some longs are too complacent. We need a flush out, and then we need, a nice rally back. So just be careful, right? Don't get too complacent. ES is still below this key 63.15. I would feel much better if the ES was holding over 63.15. I'd feel a whole hell of a lot better if I knew that the market was holding above these highs. If we get that, then I'd be much more confident to just ride this thing to the sunset. 63.15, 63.35, those are your next two major levels up here, and we are still trading below them. Okay, so make sure you just sort of Keep that in your mind as you trade today. To the downside, you're absolutely still holding these key levels. I would look for 6,300 to 6,290 to hold strong today. That's really the zone you want to see just sort of bounce and just see the bears just get decimated. That's what you want to see. You want to see just a total bear trap between this area here. Look for maybe some downside that gets bought up aggressively, right? Look for 6,290 to make sure it holds, and 6,300, this area right here. If you fail under this 6,290, I think you're going to just sort of trade right back within the shit show, which you probably don't want to get involved in. So for me, you know, to stay long today, I'd want to see at least over 6,290. If you fail back into this, you're getting a little questionable, and I'd probably expect this to come back to 6,260 again, to be quite honest. Now, I want to show you guys something yesterday, which is just an awesome example of an inverse head and shoulder, awesome example of the reclaim ripper, okay? You guys know the reclaim ripper. Take a look at this 2-minute action yesterday on the S&P 500 futures, right? You get a drop, initial drop, panic drop into 60, you hold it, right? Now, that hold came up into previous day lows, okay? Let me show you previous day lows here. Previous day lows, actually, it's not going to work on it because it's the next day. But previous day lows is exactly where this popped and failed, right here. You can see right here, actually, and there's also just a perfect break and retest rejection, right? So you have a morning low, you have a flush through that low, you have a move into 6260, you have a bounce and a retest rejection. So that was perfect, right? Previous lows, break, retest, rejection. Very clear. And this started to look like, you know, hey, we're getting that downside. This is, you know, this is legit. Because it was flowing, that's for sure. It was flowing, and I was thinking here. Me personally, I was thinking here. But there's a reason why it didn't touch here, and I'll show you on the ES or on the SPY and Qs. I'll show you in a moment. Anyways, you get your bounce, and look at this reclaim ripper. That's what this is right here. The RR, you know, trade market reclaim ripper. Right here, you have a reclaim back over 60. Right here. You reclaim 60, and you start to hold above 60 again. Look at this 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 minutes of just saying, no, no, no. All right, we're back above 60. And all these shorts that, you know, chase this downside just got absolutely ripped. And that is a reclaim and a rip, right? So that was the trade of, I mean, the afternoon to me. This was the cleanest little trade here on the ES yesterday. You have a failure, you reclaim it, you turn it back into lows. That is an inverse head and shoulder, my friends. That is a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Inverse head and shoulders. I mean, just perfection yesterday. Right off 6260. So incredible. Incredible, incredible, incredible move. And just sort of after that, I mean, it was like just straight up the rest of the day. Right, because all this liquidity and all these shorts got absolutely smoked right here, and that just led to this thing grinding higher the rest of the day. So really nice, extremely sexy move there. Today, 6290, 6300. Again, if you get to 60, you're looking for longs, just like last time. Daily 20s creeping on up, which is good. Let's keep letting this market trade sideways. Let's keep letting this daily 20 creep on higher. Eventually, it will match price action, and maybe that's when we get our rip. Over 315, you're going at 35. Okay. SPY. Look at the hold at 618. Unreal. I mean, perfection hold at 618. This was our hourly chart yesterday. Look at the 618, please. Monday's lows, 618 on the SPY. Look at this. It is exactly 618. It's insane. Beautiful. Look at that. 618.05 was our level. On the dot. What a beautiful hold. What a beautiful rip. That is the exact low here that we've been talking about from that Monday low. Look at 618. Perfect. If you break 618, that was going to the daily 20, by the way. This is where I was sort of looking for us to get to yesterday. I was getting excited to see that drop to, you know, really start to expand or start to get into some long ideas at this daily 20, but no, sir, we did not get there. 618 held strong. So 618, insane level. I mean, you can clearly see that hourly candle yesterday. Now, You're looking at this area here. 623, 622.50 is really where you want to see hold today. And then above that, it's 625. So you got 625 highs. You can see right here. 625 right here. 625, 625. That needs to break. That's our 63.15 level right here. This is our 63.15 at 625 SPY. Okay? We got to get above that. If we can get above that, then I think you're good for the all-time high push. But you need to get above that, and you need to get above right here, 63.15. It's got to break. It's not breaking yet. So you're still got to be a little bit cautious here. 623 would be a good hold today if we can get that. If you fail back under this, man, like I said, you're back in the shitter. I mean, you're just back within this 622, 618 zone, which is really not a great area. So let's see if we can get a higher low there. QQQ, right off of 552 yesterday. If we go to the hourly chart, you guys can see we had this zone between 552 and 549. And just look at how many wicks are happening in this zone, right? Look at how many. I mean, this just screams to me that there's just some kind of buy algorithm just sitting here and saying, anytime we get here, buy. I mean, look at this. Buying, 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 right? Every single time we even smell the 550, like the low 550s to 549s, you're just absolutely getting bought up like crazy here. So be careful being short into this low. This is not the area to be short into, clearly. If there's anything you take away from the last 2 weeks, that is not the level to be short into. That's very clear. Today, I would like to see a new low form. You can see that's on my charts. I need a new low to form above 556, in my opinion. You need to see this start to create like steps forward. You can't keep falling back into the same range. You want to see this create a step forward, and for me, that's above 556. You'd like to see this low hold. You'd like to see these pre-market lows hold. You'd like to see 556 be a new low, a new higher low today, right? 552, 554, 555, and now 556. Let's get some higher lows forming here. Let's start to try to build this move higher. I'd like to see us, hold above these highs right here, hold above these rejections, hold above these holds. 556 is really where I want to see this happen, right? 555, it's still, every day I adjust it because it just, 555 didn't really show me much yesterday. It was decent. There's a lot of shit. I mean, look at 555, all right? Am I going to keep 555 on my charts? Look at yesterday at 555. Doesn't look that good, man. Like, this is really not really respecting 555 too much. I mean, it did with the wicks. Look at those wicks. God damn. I didn't even pay attention to that. Look at those wicks at 555 yesterday. That's wild stuff. But I like 554 a little bit better, and I'll show you why. It is right here. It's this low from the pre-market yesterday, that 554, and I think that's sort of the major spot. You could put it between 555 and 554 if you want, but I'm just going to keep it at 554 personally, because honestly, I wouldn't even want to be long if we break under this 556 to me today. 554, 550. I mean, it's, guys, to be honest, like, I'm having a hard time not just doing this, right? If I was to be fully transparent with you, I'm having a real hard time not just doing this on my charts. I mean, this is honestly what your chart should look like, to be frank. It's just this. I mean, this is your demand zone. That's what your chart should look like. I mean, to be honest, like anything above these lows is a buy in the last 2 weeks. Now, I'm not going to set myself up with that wide of analysis, just not simply what I want to do. But to be quite honest, like, you should just be looking at, it's really this. This is your chart. And then just say, hey, I'm long here. I'm long here. I'm long here. I'm long anything that's north of 550 lows, right? Pretty much. That's really what the charts are sort of saying. So, like, cherry picking levels in here is sort of hard. You're basically just cherry picking like which one you think has a reaction. But I mean, to be honest, it's really just like this entire area is a long. I mean, that's been true the entire week, right? So it's sort of like I want to put my levels at the extremes, And the extremes for me, to be honest, is like 552 to 549. That's an extreme zone here. You can very clearly see that, right? In between this area, I mean, you could literally cherry pick any level in here. You could put a line at every single... Your chart could look like this. I mean, your chart could literally look like that between this zone, which I don't want it to look like because it's just going to confuse the hell out of me intraday. So I'm not going to do that. Like, what I'm looking for today is to make sure that my levels... I need to create the low that I need to see hold, and then I need to basically... If it breaks, I'm no longer interested. That's what I need to sort of... Like, I'm not interested in trading in here back into this high. Right? Because if we're trading at 555, right, am I going to long back into this high and these highs and these highs? You know, it might be the right move, but personally today, I don't think that would be a good trade because you'd be failing back under these highs. So what I want to see today is a hold above 556. As long as we're above this 556, I want to be long. If it fails that, then I'm just going to walk away and go to the driving range, basically. You know, and then if you come back down to 552, then maybe I'd dip buy down here. But I'm not going to trade in here. I would only want to trade here or above 556 today. I want to see this on a long or this on a long. I'm not really going to trade here and then see this happen to me, right? And this, or just see this happen to me, right? And trade this, right? Why trade this? What's interesting here? I mean, there was interest in here, right? That was the trade here, right? But not really here, right? There was really no good entry just in the middle here. Where was the entry yesterday? Where's the best entry yesterday? Right here, 552. That was the best entry, right? So I only want to mark out the best entries. My chart, like I said in the past, is a chart of what I want to trade. It's not so much Desi makes the chart, right? I'm not making my chart to be perfect. There's definitely other levels out here that you could trade off of, but I want to create a thesis in my mind with my charts. My charts is my canvas. This is my game plan with lines and colors, right? So my game plan today is long over 556. If that's not the case and we fail, I'm not interested, right? I don't want to trade in yesterday's chop, and the only place I'd get interested again is 552, right? So that's like how I sort of think about my day. Long here, if that breaks, nope, no trade here. Next trade is here, right? That's sort of the thought process. But for now, right, look at this Q's holding previous day highs. Very nice look. NASDAQ futures holding that 23,007, ES holding that 6,300, and SPY, yeah, we might be able to put a little level here on SPY around that 623s, but I'm just gonna leave it to the ES at 6,300, leave it to the NASDAQ, and leave it to the Q's where it's pretty clean at this 557.50. All right, guys, we got 45 seconds till data. If you guys could, please press that like button for me. We got 2,600 people here and 1,000 likes. Half of you. Less than half. Press that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And we'll wait for the data to come out. Retail sales. Let's see what the data says. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Why would it be anything but up? Oh. And not much. It's stuck. Stuck to up. Little up. What's the data? Hamish. Okay, SPY going up. Nice. Jobless claims 221 versus 233. Retail sales, okay, retail sales lower than expected. Actually, no, retail sales higher than expected. My bad. 0.6 versus 0.1. So big up on retail sales. Big. Jobless claims. So jobless claims lower. Retail sales up. All right. Hamisha's in here today? All right. All right. NASDAQ futures. Look at this hold, man. This would be a sexy little pullback long here, wouldn't it? 23,007, 23.1. Let's see if this can hold today. This is your money spot right here. If this could hold, that's your money spot. All right. Tesla. So Tesla's on a little comeback tour. Little revenge tour here, Teslita. 330. That's the level. 330 is the level. You do have earnings on the 23rd, so next week. That makes it a little bit tough to be too confident into earnings, but 330 is your level. I mean, case in point, I have nothing else to talk to you about. 330. You get above that, you're looking at it. Right there. Alert over 330. You get above that, definitely watching. Yeah, let's go IWM. IWM, I mean, guys, I can only say this so many times. You know, daily 20, daily 200. That's it. I mean, I got nothing else for you. That's either a long or, you know, to me, it's it's definitely an interesting long to me. Daily 20, daily 200, your risk would probably want to be under 215, so you might have to give this a little bit of risk, right? Maybe you take some time and give it some space. But, yeah, I mean, as long as the IWM's over the 200 SMA, I can't really complain with the idea of a pullback long there. So, I guess let's see if you maybe get a better entry, but, I mean, look at this daily chart. Look at this thing. Look at this. I mean, beautiful trend. Nice daily wick. Look at that wick off the daily 20 yesterday. Definitely something to be watching. No doubt. No doubt. SMH. You got to hold above the 289 today. If you can hold above the 289, that's good for the SMH, good for the semis. If you fail back under 289, you're back into our 285. I mean, look at the hold again yesterday at the exact same demand zone. Unbelievable. Monday panic attack long, Wednesday panic attack long. Right? Same exact move. Panic attack long, panic attack long. That means any panic attack you get into this zone, I would be making sure you're paying attention to whether that's a long opportunity in here. 283, 285 becoming a brick wall of demand down here. 289 would be a good high or low. If that forms, you go to 293. If you fail back under 289 today, then you probably have a little bit of a pullback on the semis today. So I would say 289's got to hold. All right, so Tesla 330, that's the watch. Nvidia monster, and what this was in bright bold text yesterday for us on the live stream. Buy zone. All right, you guys remember the buy zone? That was in our charts yesterday. Where did we pull back to on Nvidia? We pulled right back to the buy zone, which was 169. Incredible. Yesterday, you can see right here, pull back, buy zone, 169. Really nice. Really nice right there. I mean, on the money. A little bit late in the day for me. I was sort of, I took my hood trade, took my win and ran. So, this is a move that I typically won't catch, but maybe want to start, staying around for. An all-day pullback that eventually turns into a long around afternoon time is great. It's been very common, but typically I'm trying to trade that first, hour and a half and taking that opportunity and running. That's just my goal right now because I'm trying to work my way back into some momentum. But what a beautiful opportunity on Nvidia, right back at 169. You love to see it. Today, I would say back to 171, 171.50. Look for these previous highs to turn into lows, right? These highs right here, this area right here. If this can turn into a strong low today, definitely look for that opportunity. And then if we come back to 169, that's a mindless buy zone, it seems like. 173 looks to be getting a little bit tough, so I wouldn't mind a pullback, right? You are gapping up on Nvidia because of TSM earnings, and I don't mind a pullback to fill that gap, man. 170, 171, that would be my 171, 171.50, that would be my watch today. AMD, Let's pour one out for this 4-hour chart, man. Let's pour one out for it. This was our 4-hour trade. This was our swing trade that we took. If I pull up, you'll see right here. So pour one out for my my swing trade there. You can see right here, man. This was our trade. We had the AMD longs off 142, 140. I had 75 of the 145s for this Friday at 298. These are trading at like 15. So that sucks. That sucks. But, you know, beautiful call out for the group here. 142, we longed it on, this was back on Thursday, Thursday the 10th. And those are at, you know, those are up like, I don't know, man, 300, 400%. So, you know, my own stupidity to take profits on that, I guess. But, you know, I had a really nice profit on it, and I wanted to take that win. So I did what I had to do. I was up around 3K, 20% on that. Took the dubs, and obviously that was the worst idea possible. So that's just, you know, that's how the semiconductor moves have gone, man. Holding some contracts has been the right move. So that's why I'm trying to you know, warm up to that idea a little bit more, which has been, you know, a little bit of a learning lesson these last few days. But what a sick move. Pullbacks here, 157, 158. That would be the great pullback right here. If we can get back to this level, 157, 158, look to see if that turns into a long. The only thing I have to say is that at some point, AMD and the semis are going to have a cool off. So just know that, right? That day will come. It's not like it will never happen. And you are sitting above a pretty major gap here on AMD, right? Big gap here on AMD between 153, 148. And that would be the best pullback long to grab here at 148 if we can get that. I don't think we will in the short term, but we shall see. 148, you can see right here, that would be the best pullback to get. I don't know if you will. If you don't, then you're looking at 157 right here as a great opportunity today. One of these right here at 157. If you get a pullback to 153, that's also interesting. A break under 153 would give you the gap fill to 148. So let's see. I mean, definitely, yeah. I mean, definitely extended. Definitely a juicy move over the last few days. Could definitely see the possibility of some pullbacks on this one. So just stay open to that. 157, 153 would be two things to watch. Broadcom, another nice move, another perfect opportunity off 277. Right now, it looks like you're holding over these highs of days at 282. Yesterday, high a day at 282. Let me go into the 5-minute chart. You can see right here, it looks like around that 282 is what's holding this up right now. 282, 283. It's not really that great, to be quite honest with you. I really don't enjoy that much. I think the best long is still just 277. But I don't know if you're going to get back to that 277. That's the question. Got a little bit of a breakout here, right? I'd like to maybe see this develop a little bit more over like this 282. Let's see if the 282 can really clean up today. Let's see how strong it holds above that today. That could be the new long, 282, right here. These highs, look at this low. That could be your new long right there. I wouldn't mind a pullback to 277. TSM, obviously huge earnings push. I think you wait for the gap fill, man. That's just always the right call in my opinion. So I won't be touching TSM until we get a gap fill back to 277.60. There's plenty of other semis to be looking for. So 277.60. Let's see if we get that pullback. ARM is probably my top watch. You guys, I mean, look at this setup on ARM, guys. Daily, you know, over the last 2 weeks, you've had this crazy downside move on ARM back into 141. And semis are still rock solid and red hot. I think ARM could easily make this all back. You do have earnings on the 30th, but this is a very interesting comeback move on ARM. We've called this to perfection. I'm trying to find my entry here. I would love a pullback to the daily 20 here. If we can get that pullback to 152, that would be A+ right here. A+ at 152. So would love to see that. If we don't get that, then it's possibly the 155 right here at 155. That could be the entry. 155, 152 would be 2 entries to look for. Over this 157.50, I think you rock it to 161. Weekly chart is also extremely, extremely interesting. If we go here, look at this weekly chart. You have this like sort of previous high area. I just think you're sort of creating this weekly area. You're sort of creating this weekly low here. See this little flip that's happening? You have like these weekly highs and weekly lows. You have this little flag that's forming, right? A little flag on the weekly. I'm definitely interested in this. You can see the daily chart is holding above these 140 area lows here. Break, retest, right? This is probably about a 50% retracement move. 61.8, 50% retracement of that move. I mean, this is really shaping up to be something special. I'm going to continue to try to find an entry on this because it's going to be a little bit tricky to find that right entry. But let's see. ARM. 155 pullback would be great. 152 would make me very confident. If I can get back to 152 today, I would really, really be confident there. Got to be a little bit careful chasing it at this point, right? You got 160, 157 area, possibly a little bit heavy, and then that 170 high, obviously heavy as well. But let's see, man. 155 would be a break and retest above previous day highs. That would be awesome. And then lower at 152 would be awesome. Let's see if we can get something. Palantir, running, gone. See you later. Sayonara. I mean, this thing is sick. What a move. 150, 150, 150.5. Previous highs turning into lows. Look at this. Highs, highs, lows, gone. So for you today, I mean, you're going to want to pull back. You're not going to want to just chase this at the highs. Pull back to 150 area would be the best. That's what I would look for there. Circle, 225 pullback. This is I watched today, definitely. If I look at this hourly chart, you guys can see right here, 225, 225, double top high. Look at this, 225. If we can hold that 225, that's a watch. The best pullback, to be honest, the best pullback is right here. It's right between this 213.50 and 210 area. That would be the best pullback to ask for right here. 213.50 to 210. I don't know if you're going to get that pullback though, because that might be tough in this rocket fueled move right now. But 213.50 to 210 would be the A++ entry point if you get that, right? Pull back to like the 50% move here. If you get that, I would absolutely be watching. If you don't, it's probably 225, right? I would be watching 225. I'd be watching 213.50 for sure. What's Lucid doing? Why are we watching this stock? Okay, well, hold on. That's interesting news. Forming partnership with Uber on robo-taxi program. Huh. So they're trying to take on Teslita. That's interesting. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I'll be looking to just... I guess we'll see, man. But, yeah, I mean, best of luck. Vaya con Dios on this one. I'm not sure. Let's see. Maybe it does something. What else? Hold on. I got some others. Oklo. OKLO. Definitely. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Yeah, I messed this one up pretty good. Damn. 60 long, perfect. Beautiful hold over 60 yesterday. I got caught in this move. I just didn't trust it. That's on me. I just didn't trust it, giving it all back yesterday. I should have trusted it more. 60 was good. That was the right call. That was the right move. That was the right level. I took a long, and I did not trust for it to hold 60. So, a little bit upsetting there. I just, that intraday volatility sort of spooked me out, and that's a rookie mistake on my part. But I was trying to protect risk, and I guess, sometimes protecting risk, you can miss out on stuff like this. But 65 today, definitely the watch. This could be huge. 65 hold. If you can hold over 65, I think you're going to 70. This weekly chart looks absolutely primed. We've been talking about this one. I would keep watching it, man. You have a beautiful daily chart breakout. You have a beautiful hold above 60. If you can hold above 65 today, you're going to keep running. So, OKLO. Let's see what happens. Let's see if this thing can get over 65 or hold above 65 today. Hood, great trade yesterday. I would love a pullback to this 101.50, 101 area. Previous day highs is your watch there. Coinbase, over 400. Keep an eye on that. Amazon, not that interested. I'm really not interested in any of these. Amazon, Meta, maybe Meta over 710. Google, really not that interested. Maybe back to 182.50. And then finally, yeah, that HIMS setup is sort of interesting. HIMS has a pretty major gap to fill here. And HIMS over like this 51, what's this low right here? 51.20. HIMS over 51.20 is a nice little hold, a nice reclaim hold, right? And you have a gap to fill up to like the 64 area. And look at the hold that's happening right over this 51.20, guys. So there is a little bit of some interest here, right? Look at this 51.20 flip. Some interest for sure. If you can get over like this 50 SMA at 53.50 today, that might send it. That might send it. So I would watch that over this daily 50. If you can do that, I would be watching HIMS into like 58 and then 64 to fill this gap. Could be very interesting. Earnings are approaching, so just know that. But yeah, the reclaim over this 4-hour low, right? Look at this. Look at this 4-hour low. You reclaimed above it. That's interesting. All right, what's the market doing? Are we holding? Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Look at this hold. 23,007, perfect hold. QQQ, 550. Look at this hold. Perfect hold, 557.50. ES, 6,300. Nice hold. Got to get over the 63.15. You get above that, you're going higher. All right, guys, that's going to be it. If you want more, if you want to come trade live with me, come trade live with the group. Check out the link down below. Wheezy, appreciate that, brother. Thank you for the coffee. And have a great trading day. And best of luck. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.